What's up, guys? I'm Dan. You probably know me most from running the open play esports sessions that we have every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. However, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to do a nice little behind the scenes video on how we do run these streams because we do have some classes like the YouTube class and the esports class that focus on content creation using OBS, using this streaming software. And since we actually do something for you guys where we do use this, I thought it would be a good opportunity to really kind of just show you guys what we really do behind the scenes so you guys can learn a thing or two. And also because we do this every day for you guys, so it would be cool for you guys to see the flip side of it and what goes on the other end. So I'm going to really take you guys through all the scenes we have and all the sources that we have in those scenes and kind of go one by one explaining them. The reason for that is those are probably the most important things that we do, because then again, like the most of it is just gonna be like the settings and all that stuff, which you could just look up a YouTube video on how to optimize your OBS settings. So I'm gonna take you guys again through the start. So the first one we are gonna look at is gonna be the starting soon screen. So nothing too special here. We do have our nice starting soon little overlay that we have. As you can see here, that is the first source, and then the second source is going to be the text for our little notification blurb under the starting soon. So we do have to have that above the overlay, because if you have it below the overlay, again, you won't be able to see it because the overlay is going to cover it. But there is that little box there for you to put stuff, as you can see in the overlay. It kind of like wants you to put something there. So we do put the notifications there. Now, the most important thing about this scene is that you guys aren't able to hear anything. You're not able to hear my voice. You're not able to hear my desktop audio. As you can see, desktop audio and mic aux are the only things in the audio mixer, and they are both muted. Now, the reason for that is basically because when we do have the starting soon screen up, it's going to kind of act as a buffer between when we start the stream and when I start talking. So in that time period, I'm talking to my producers on the other end. So we don't want you guys to hear that. We're just talking about how the stream looks, the stream health. It doesn't have to do with the esports. It's more the technicalities of it. So we don't really want you guys listening to that. Again, you can hear it, but it would just be like clutter and not really important stuff. Um, so that's why the mic slash aux is muted and the desktop audio is muted. Now, an important thing to note is that these two are always going to be there in OBS. So if I go to my BR browser screen, which is the next scene, as you can see, the mic and aux are muted and the desktop audio is also muted. So those are muted, and that actually carries over to all the scenes. And if you have a different audio source in your sources, that is also going to carry over in the audio mixer, like the decibels that you have it, if you have that plus or minus, or if you have it muted. So that's all going to carry over. So the next thing that we do have, once I do start talking, once I do get my little blurb, is going to be the BR browser screen. Now you guys know this screen because this is a screen that I obviously use when I am in my browser, when I'm either playing, not when I'm playing Sembly, but when I'm either loading up Sembly, when I'm talking about Black Rocket Online, when I'm talking about how to get the different esports games set up. When I have my browser open, I'm going to be in here. And now this scene is nice because we do have our little thing over here. We got our little text that tells you what the stream is going to be for today. We have the intermission overlay. We have the browser. So the browser you can adjust, actually. You can kind of move this around. Again, this is what the overlay looks like if the browser wasn't there, and then the same thing would be the webcam. It would just be black. So you do want to put the browser in and then kind of frame it so it does look really nice. That's the browser. You have the webcam source, again, same thing. You have the today's stream and text, and you have the audio input capture. Now, this is important because this is going to be my microphone. So the good thing about this is that I could actually put that into the different scenes where I do want you guys to hear me. So of course, this one, I do want you guys to hear me. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about how to download everything, get everything set up. So you definitely do want to hear me on this one. Again, starting soon, I don't have that, but again, in here, the mic aux is muted. So if I didn't have that muted, it would be picking up my microphone in all the different scenes. So I don't want that. I want my separate source, and I will be good to go. So something that you do have to make sure, actually, which was kind of weird, is that you do have to make sure that the browser is going to be full screen because it kind of matches the resolution. So again, you do want to make sure that your stuff is going to be full screen, because if you have it in a window like this, it's going to look pretty bad in OBS. But a little trick for that is actually, if you do have your browser in full screen, or if you do have anything in full screen, but it does work the best with the browser, you could actually open up your OBS right here above your browser and then window the OBS. If you do kind of want like a double view, if you only do have one screen, this is the way to do it. So I usually do like to, when I'm going through the online stuff, I do like to pop up my OBS right here and then kind of just scroll here, because you could still see the full picture in OBS, even if on my desktop I can't see it. So it's really good for kind of going over, scrolling, and all that stuff, just so I could really make sure. However, for the most part, I know that it's gonna look good on OBS because I see it. I've done it so many times too, so I'm kind of used to it. I don't really have to look at OBS for like everything. I'm not really nitpicky with everything going on. So the next scene that we do have here is actually going to be the assembly scene. So the assembly scene, as you can see, we're not in assembly right now because assembly is going to be in my browser up here. But the assembly screen is actually, let me refresh that 1 second. The assembly screen is actually going to be a full screen image of my browser. So the reason why we do this is because we want the game to be the focal point. We want the game to be the big thing. So once that loads, I will shoot it over to full screen in the game, just so you can see how it looks on OBS. But with the BR browser, again, there's a big border. There's this whole intermission thing over on the right. There's this bottom bar. My webcam's like not involved in in the main thing that you're looking at. But when we do gameplay, we do want to kind of make sure that the gameplay is first, and we do want to make sure the gameplay is front and center, and that nothing is distracting from the gameplay. So that is why we have the very, very large, nice full screen window right here. And we do the same thing for Battle Royale. So again, when we do shoot this over to full screen, I could just tab, select OBS again, and then boom, just like that. However, once I do go in assembly, I don't really look at myself because again, I don't really have to. Uh, the only reason I really have to bring OBS up is if I'm switching scenes, like if I'm switching into the assembly scene from the BR browser screen, or if I'm going from assembly to stream ending or something like that. I really don't need to look at OBS right now because again, we have done it a lot of times. We did a lot of testing to make sure that everything does work. So again, the only things that are going to be here is the browser. Again, with Battle Royale, you'll see that it's different. However, we do just have a browser source right here. We have the Webcam Overlay, which is just going to be a little bit of a border around the webcam, so it does look nice. It does kind of bring it out a little bit more. It does kind of just, if you did just have the camera in there, it would kind of be like too much into the gameplay, so we do like to bring a little bit of a contrast. And then again, we have the audio input capture because I am casting, and I do want you guys to hear me, obviously, or else I'd just be shouting into the void. So the next thing right here is going to be the BR Battle Royale scene. So I already have, let me just launch my Battle Royale. I do have it brought up right here. So the BR Battle Royale scene is pretty much going to be the same exact thing as the assembly scene. It's just going to be full screen gameplay with really nothing distracting you from that. Just my webcam right there because, again, casting, we do want you guys to see me because it's kind of a stream. My voice isn't iconic. I know in some esports, they just have the casters voicing over. However, we are a nice little small thing, so it is always good to see who's casting you. Their reactions to everything is also always cool. So again, I'm just gonna make sure that this does come up, and we do have it. I'm going to launch it, and again, you do want to launch this full screen because if it is not full screen, it will do the same thing as the browser and kind of just be cut off in half or in a weirdly shaped window that doesn't really fit into the border. So again, I can just pop open OBS. All right, so now as you can see, we do have Battle Royale up in the background with it showing up in OBS, working very, very well. Again, it looks a lot smoother in OBS than it does on some other things. We did experiment with a different software that was kind of in browser, but OBS captures it really well. Again, it's free, so it's definitely the premier thing to use if you do want to capture gameplay. So we do have Battle Royale, same thing assembly. We do just got this, instead of being a browser, it's an application capture. So I could just show you that real quick. You do go to mode, a capture specific window, and then the window, you could kind of pick anything. So here I got the Battle Royale config up. I have my other OBS open, Microsoft Edge, Groove Music, whatever is open in the background, it'll pick up too. But you do just want to capture the application. And again, if you do have different games, you could always make a different scene for that specific game and it will pick it up. So if I'm playing on my Switch, I'll have a video capture to my capture card, and then I'll have that as a scene with like kind of the same camera setup. And then if I'm playing a different game on my PC, I'll have another scene with the same kind of camera setup, but just the window will be different. Again, you don't really have to do that. You could always switch the window whenever you want. However, if you only do play like a couple games, it could just be easier to make the scene for it. However, you could always just change it here and just pick whatever you need. So again, that is going to be the Battle Royale window. Again, we just have the webcam overlay, and the audio capture, of course, because again, I do my casting in Battle Royale as well. And then the final scene right here is going to be the stream ending. So the stream ending, how I said the starting soon was kind of a buffer between starting the stream and then me talking. This one's kind of going to be a buffer between me talking and then me ending the stream. So we do just like that, just because, again, I'll end the stream. If anyone has anything to say in the chat, if they enjoyed watching, they could say so, or we could kind of talk to people a little bit more. Just instead of it abruptly cutting off, we do like to send it here. However, it is still live when you go here, so you do have to make sure to end it. However, if you do X out of OBS, it will automatically cut the stream anyways. They'll say, like, do you want to end the stream, or Xing out of OBS will end the stream. And you just go, yeah. But again, same thing. We have the end overlay right here, and then we have our notifications right here. So again, that I think is going to be it. That's going to cover it. We really nailed down a lot of the big parts of running this stream. We really handled everything from the scenes to the sources, and it's really that simple. I know it doesn't really seem like a lot, but again, you just really switch the scenes like this, and then that's pretty much it. Once you have everything set up, it's really just a matter of performing, really, and nailing down the casting and making sure that you do switch the scenes. But again, once you get into it, it kind of does become second nature, because it's like, okay, once I open Sembly, I go to the Sembly screen, because again, I know it's on the BR browser. So sometimes when I first started, I wouldn't change the scene from BR browser and I'd keep it in there. The producers, again, had to tell me like a few times that I was in that. So again, you do just want to make sure, and you will get used to it once you do start getting into it. And once you do take it a little bit more seriously, you will obviously improve. So that is going to be it. I'm not sure. We may run a couple other videos with the stream settings. But again, there's a lot of videos out there already that do stuff like that. However, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys for the open play esports sessions and maybe some more videos down the road. So again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys later. Peace.